How's it going, everybody? Doing another collection video today. This is gonna be my Super Famicom collection. I was gonna combine it with the Super Nintendo, but I'll just do Super Nintendo on its own. I figured I'd split them apart. The reason I get the Super Famicom games is because they're much cheaper than their North American counterparts. By quite a bit in some cases. Some are not, but I'd love to be able. I need to learn to read the language, because the writing and stuff, because I'd love to get like the Final Fantasies and stuff and the Dragon Quest games and shit like that. But they're very text heavy, so if you don't know how to read that, you're not going to be able to read the Japanese or whatever. You're not going to know what the hell's going on. You're not gonna be able to navigate it. Like, these games are all, outside of one, they're all fairly simple enough to get through, or just to figure out and just go based on certain things. But yeah, and like I said, they're cheaper, which is nice. I mean, and some of them are still in English completely, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just gonna grab them. Whenever. First one is Final Fight 2, like this, super easy to play. You got Hagar here. Is that Cody? I don't know. I don't know what the woman's name is. Awesome beat 'em ups, the Final Fight games. Final Fight 3, or they call it Final Fight Guy, I think, over there. It's still expensive as well. Both versions are expensive, but this one's just a great beat 'em up. Graphically looks nice with the Super Famicom cassette. Definitely a cool game. I can't remember how much I got this one for. It was maybe like $15, a little less. Definitely a cool game. Some of these you would have seen in the pickups vids, such as this one that I did recently. This is Gomon, or whatever. It's Legend of the Mystical Ninja here. This is $8.99. I got a few of these, like, about 5 of them at a book off in Massapequa when I was back up on Long Island. They have a book off there now, which is awesome. They have a ton of Super Famicom games. I need to check out, when we're back up in May, I need to check out the Famicom games as well. So maybe grab some of those, but I haven't played much of this one yet. Threw it on briefly. Seemed like a cool beat 'em up. Thankfully, all the games do work. It's like, you get a 30-day. You just bring it back, you get a refund or whatever, 30 days, or trade in or whatever the hell. I was like, I'm not going to be here in 30 days. Here's another one. This is the Sailor Moon beat 'em up. It's actually pretty fun. It has all the characters. My fiance used to watch this show, so she recognized the characters. I don't know their names. It's a pretty decent beat 'em up. They have special powers and stuff, like little special moves they can do and stuff like that. It's another one that was $8.99. It has some Japanese writing on the back as well. I was wondering. Whoa, jeez. I was wondering, because the book off is a Japanese store, and I guess they started to bring them over to the U.S. Of course, Massapequa ends up getting one, my old hometown. Then it was an isolate, but they must have shipped like a ton, because they have tons of them. I've seen videos over there from people. They go to these stores, Hard Off, I think is another one called, and there's just endless amounts of Super Famicom games. I wonder if they shipped a ton over here and just like sell them there. People might be more interested in them, like me. But pretty decent beat 'em up. Tecmo Super Bowl 2. Unfortunately, the save battery in this is dead. I gotta learn to solder and get a new battery in here. But this is another one that was like a quarter of the price of the Super Nintendo, or even the Genesis one. But this is all in English. So it's still fun to play, even though I can't save it. I'll still play like their 5-6 games and stuff like that. It's Tecmo Super Bowl. They're all classic. They still hold up, in my opinion. There's Super Donkey Kong 2, or Donkey Kong 2. This would have been something with Diddy Kong, I think the title said. And there's a Dixie Kong. But cool platformers that I never played back in the day. I have a repro of the first one, but I never played them back then. I was kind of not moving on. I was really just playing a few games because I think the first one came out maybe like 94. I wouldn't say I moved on from anything, but I was kind of just playing like Final Fantasy 3 at that point and some sport games. I wasn't going, like, I was kind of like, there was a period of time in high school where I lost a little bit of interest in video games, not a ton. And then I got the N64 and I was like, back in it. But I would still be playing Final Fantasy 3, like NBA Live and stuff like that. I would play. And maybe, I'm trying to think, there was another, I think there was another game I was spending time with. I can't remember what it was. But I didn't play these. They are cool, though. I've played them since, some of them. Some, like, not fully through them, but they're good, pretty good platformers. Look really nice, especially for the time. They looked really good. These are made by Rare. Who was the second-party developer for Nintendo until they sold them to Microsoft? Super Mario World. Same thing. This was $9. Usually, I mean, it doesn't sell. It's like 15 to 20 US, but I was like, I'm just gonna grab it. It's classic. Super Mario World looks great. It's just a classic game. I remember back in the day when I had it. It's just fun. The upgrade from the NES to the Super Nintendo. You're just like, oh my god. But it's a super awesome one. You're fighting all of Koopa's kids in this one. Yoshi makes his first appearance here. Was Yoshi's Cookie after this? His first one in a Mario game. But it's a great platformer, classic platformer. You're getting your power-ups and everything else. There's hidden things in the world and stuff like that. It's classic. This is a Super Bonk. Bonk was originally... Well, they had a Bonk on the NES as well. But Bonks... I had the first two Bonks adventures on TurboGrafx 16. And then, obviously, TurboGrafx was done. And then they started to put them out everywhere. But you know what? I think the Bonk on NES came out during TurboGrafx. Wouldn't have been like done at that point. They were probably just like whatever. But that makes sense because I think like there was a Shinobi game on the NES too, and that was Sega. So cool. This is actually a really cool game. It's pretty intense. It's part where they go on a plane. It's like pretty wild actually. It really goes hard, as they say, at the beginning of it. Another game that's much more expensive. I'm pretty sure Super Bonk was released here, but maybe it wasn't. This is, I think it's Mickey's Magical Quest. It's definitely a Mickey game. Mickey's Magical Quest 3. Another game that's cheaper. These were good. Capcom was doing good stuff with the Disney crap back then. Sega was too, actually, with the Castle of Illusion and stuff like that on the Genesis. Land of Illusion. Or was it World of Illusion? But they had these Magical Quest ones. There was a couple other ones that were on both systems as well. But it's fun. I think you use Mickey and Donald in this one. I think so. I did play some of it. It's in good shape as well. What do we got? 5 left here. It's another book off one, Poppin' Twin B, which is it's a shooter. A shmup. It doesn't have the side-to-side one. This is kind of you're going upwards like 1943 and 1942, and you're dropping stuff, you're bombing stuff below, you're shooting stuff in front of you. Looks really nice. It's a fun shoot 'em up. It's a cool game. Oh, this is Dodgeball. I don't know what the exact name is, but it is pretty sure the sequel to the Super Dodgeball on the NES. I'm not sure if this one was even released here. But it's cool. It's just like the one on the NES. It's really cool, fun dodgeball sport game. I don't know if in this one, I can't remember. I haven't popped it in a while, but I know in the original, like when you hit people, they actually like die. And you see spirits go up to heaven from dodgeball. It's fun though. This is the Rainbow Bell Adventure, Twin B. I think the Rainbow Bell Adventure. This one was expensive. This was $19, but this would be a lot more expensive in the U.S. This is instead a platformer with the Twin Bs, whatever they are. I played a little bit of it. They seem to have their own abilities and stuff. You use the 3 of them there. It's like an overworld thing, like Mario World and stuff. I only played it briefly to make sure it works, but I do want to try it again. This one's another one that's in pretty good shape. But this one was 19. And I found this one, like when I was in Book Off. I saw the Sailor Moon one there the first time. I went in it 3 times in like a span of 5 days. And I didn't get it. And I Super Mario World. There's a couple of those ones, like an F-Zero and Pilot Wings. Although Pilot Wings you can just get for the Super Nintendo. It's essentially the same price, maybe a few dollars more. F-Zero I might get the next time because that one's maybe like, well, no, F-Zero's not that expensive either for a U.S. copy, North American copy. This is, they had all the they had the Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6. 6 is 3 here when it was released originally. They only released 2. There was 3 Final Fantasies on the Famicom there. There was only 1 here, and then the Super Nintendo they got another 3, and we got 2. We didn't get 5. But then they've since released them, so they're actual numbers now. The Game Boy Advance got them. I think the original PlayStation, got them. But this was pretty fun from what I played of it briefly. But they had a ton of that stuff, and then I didn't see this one until the last day. I was like, I'm grabbing it. 19. I knew what it was because I was looking. I would look previously months ago for kind of English friendly, or not even just games you can play. Japanese Super Famicom games that you can play. It's not going to be a struggle if you don't know the language. But I was there. I was like, oh, sweet. Like Super Mario World, I didn't see it. The first, I only got Poppin' Twin B first, and then I went back again. I got Super Mario World and the Gomon game. And then I got the other 2. And I did get Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for the Game Boy as well. Which you would have seen the pickup. But anyway. Final 2, and the best, really. ActRaiser. Fantastic game. This was like $11. I think it's actually gone up a little bit. Not much. I think that I got it for 11, but like it's probably like $30 for the US version. I was like, you know what? This is made by Enix before they merged with Square. I think they're the ones that absorbed Square. But as Square Enix, it used to be Square Soft or Square, and then Enix. Enix did like Dragon Quest, Dragon Warriors. They did the ActRaiser, a bunch of other RPGs and some other stuff. This game's awesome. They changed it up in the second one. This one's like side scroll and then also like world building game. So you come down from the heavens and you do your side scrolling, and then you're a little angel and you're going around shooting these little bats that come, but you got to like build up the little civilization and stuff and kind of protect them. Then you get into another side scrolling level. Really unique, cool game. It was an early title for the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom. It was 90. It would have come out in 91 probably here, or 92, because the Super Nintendo itself I think came out in 91 here, and it came out in 90 in Japan. And the Genesis, I believe, was 88 in Japan. It came out 89 here. It was awesome. There was a few instances where there are some dialogue things, but I was like, okay, I knew I kind of got the gist of what the responses were and what I needed to hit. But it's such an awesome, awesome game. It really is. ActRaiser is one of the best. I know they did that Renaissance one, kind of like I guess like a remake or a sequel. I don't know. I've not played it. But this game is fantastic. ActRaiser is great. It might even be more than that. Let's look it up real quick and see how much ActRaiser is going for these days. 2 is kind of pricey too, but 2 is just a side scroll. They took out the little world building element, which kind of sucks. Go to old eBay and see. Come on. For my phone's a month. Come on, what is this thing? No. Didn't read that. No, it did. Oh, that pisses me off. You think your phone froze, but it didn't. It's just my phone's a piece of shit. But ActRaiser is awesome. I need to see this now. Alright, there we go. ActRaiser for the SNES. What's it selling for? Oh my god. Oh, it's selling for a shit ton. I was way off. Oh, there's a copy for 30. There's someone selling for 50. That's the second one for 40, which isn't that bad. Second one looks great. Like, the side-scrolling's still there. It just sucks that they took out the other stuff. Yeah, $30 for the original is not bad either. Shit, I might buy it. for the Super Nintendo, too. Awesome game, though. And the last one of my top games of all time. Area 88 UN Squadron in North America. I would assume everywhere else. But it was Area 88 there, based on an anime, which I have since watched on the YouTube. It's pretty wild, actually, but awesome shoot 'em up. Awesome shoot 'em up with quite possibly my favorite game soundtrack ever. The shooting's great. You can It's kind of cool when you die, you save the money you make. You're like getting money throughout. You get better shit, better planes. You can use certain weaponry you can buy to go into each level with. Looks really good. You can do bombing runs to gain more money. Occasionally the trucks come in and you can do bombing runs. You can do the first mission you have to do immediately, but there's other ones as they kind of move along and you can kind of do them, and you don't have to do them in a certain order. It gets tough as hell. I have not ever beat this. I got up to the last level, I think, where there's a canyon, and you go inside the cave where it gets really tough. I always try to beat it, but it's so good. It's so good. It's challenging, but it's good. It's just a great game. You want to hold on to the first plane for a while. Let's see what this is going for, actually. This one's probably 25 to 30. Uh, 45, 37, 31. It's about $30 to $40. Because I got this one for, I think, 15 or 16. So, like I said, it's the same. I'm playing it the same. It's the same freaking game. Completely playable. So, Area 88, UN Squadron. Awesome shoot 'em up. Just awesome. One of my favorite games of all time. I was go back and forth, but my favorite console ever, the Super Nintendo or the Genesis. But yeah, that is my Super Famicom collection. It's a cool way if you're like collecting or you like the Super Nintendo games. And I have the Retron 3, so it just plays them. You can mod if you have a North American, I don't know if it's a PAL region thing too, where if you mod it, you can break these little things that it will fit the Super Famicom games in. I don't know for sure with the PAL version of the Super Nintendo, but I know the North American version you can do it. But yeah, it's cool playing. It's cool. Again, if you want to collect and you want to collect some of these games, and for half the price, sometimes even a third of the price, you can go that route. But yeah, that's just my Super Famicom collection. And thanks for checking this out. And